Somalia is a homogeneous nation with the same religion, same culture, same language. One would think this would directly equate to unity, but it doesn't. Everything changed under the military rule of Siad Barre following the assassination of the then President Abdul Rashid Ali Shamaki. Major General Siad Barre rose to power through a military coup in 1969, backed by public uproar. He was praised for modernization, literacy campaigns, and national unity. But all good things come to an end. His regime was characterized by militarization, dictatorship, and anarchy. And due to frustrations from the people who organized under the leadership of Hawiye-based United Somali Congress, an uprising was launched. And this led to the collapse of Siad Barre's government. Somalia was left without a state, with the Western world referring to it as a failed state. Somalia was divided and led in the territorial fragments, where the warlords and clan heads were in charge. This coalition between the warlords did not last long because they quickly turned against each other. In May 1991, the Somali National Movement took over the northern region of Somalia and declared it an independent country called the Republic of Somaliland. The wars continued to Mogadishu, each group fighting to take control of the capital. These wars greatly affected Somalia's agriculture sector and development, which led to a widespread of famine in the country. Whenever Somalia has hopes of stabilizing, another civil war breaks out, from one extremist group to another. Development in the country has been constantly crippled, which leaves many lifeless, poverty-stricken, and malnourished. Aid is also obstructed by the military groups that close off support routes, which also leaves so many in dire need of help hopeless. The harsh climatic conditions also affect economic and social growth of the region. This forces the country to depend largely on foreign funding, which is risky given that foreign priorities keep on changing. US aid cuts have resulted to the closure of over 200 health centers and 400 schools. Emergency food assistance has reduced, leaving millions facing chronic food insecurity and droughts. With all these challenges, will Somalia ever catch up with the rest of East Africa? Somalia was developing at the same speed with most of the East African countries post-independence before civil wars started breaking out. Now, with approximately $812 GDP per capita as of 2026, which increased from $764 in 2025, it ranks among the 3 bottom economies in East Africa, only above South Sudan and Burundi. Somalia is taking small and gradual steps towards rebuilding their nation. Through inclusion and empowerment, there is an increased number of women participating in politics, military, and business. Although women's participation in politics is still low, with women making 20% of the parliament. The diaspora community has largely contributed to the country's social and economic growth, with remittances estimated to be between $1.3 and $2 billion annually. Somalia's livestock sector, including goats, sheep, and cattle, has steadily developed due to its high demand in the Middle East. The country has tripled its livestock export revenue since 2018 to approximately $1 billion in 2025. With livestock contributing to 45% of the country's GDP, this makes livestock the backbone of Somalia's economy. Somalia's strategic geographic location gives it a greater advantage from the rest of East African countries, like Kenya and Tanzania, who are far from the Middle East, and livestock trade is highly localized and informal. In 2023, Somalia joined the East African community, and joining such communities come with a vast range of opportunities such as access to a broader market of over 300 million people, enhancing trade and investment opportunities, and facilitating a more diverse economy. Just like other East African countries, Somalia has a growing problem of unemployed and displaced youths. But measures have been put in place to try and solve this problem. In 2019, the Somalia's federal government developed a national employment policy with 3 main facets: boosting the education system with emphasis on skills development, promoting micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, encouraging the growth of job-intensive manufacturing and other industrial activities. At this point, Somalia could be walking towards its long-lost glory. But policy changes need to be implemented to support these sectors and enable sustainable transformation to take place. Maybe if all these measures and policies are put in place, Somalia will have a chance to catch up with the rest of East Africa.